We're talking with Luther Brisbane of Bay Ridge, New York, and he's the founder and president of the newly formed activist group Stop Healthcare Reform Now.
Stop Healthcare Now.
Stop Healthcare Now, sorry. And your aim, Mr. Brisbane, is to stop the healthcare reform legislation that is currently moving through Congress?
No. My aim is to stop healthcare. Now.
You want to stop actual healthcare, the taking care of sick people?
Correct.
Why?
Well, because healthcare is socialism. And socialism is a direct threat to our democracy. Now, that's a proven fact.
And you believe that all organized medicine is socialism?
Absolutely. Medicare, Medicaid, these are all socialist programs. And when you start throwing in these initials that nobody ever heard of, you know, HIP, HMO, PPO, KGB, you know what I'm saying? They're all symptomatic of a communist mindset.
So you would get rid of all the insurance companies?
And doctors and hospitals.
Well, that's something of a radical approach, isn't it?
Nah, I'm no radical. I'm a patriot. Now, I go back to the Founding Fathers. They believed in personal responsibility. Now, you'll notice that there's no mention of health care in the Constitution. Now, Benjamin Franklin said, early to bed, early to rise. That was his health plan. And he had syphilis. Now, George Washington, he carved his wooden teeth out of a cherry tree. Now, what does that tell you? See, in the old days, people would just leave their sick relatives under a tree or next to a mountain. And they'd either make it or not. And that's how you build character. I very much fear that we've lost touch with our pioneer spirit. Excuse me.
Luther lives out his principles every day. His aged mother Sylvia now bypasses medical care entirely in favor of Luther's own hands-off approach to wellness.
Yeah, Ma's been bedridden for a couple of years now, and she's been in and out of the hospital, back and forth, from one doctor to another. And finally I just said, yeah, enough. I mean, what good is it doing? I mean, it's keeping her alive, but other than that...
And what is your mother's ailment?
You name it, she's got it. She's like a walking encyclopedia. Except she can't walk. But that's just my point. I mean, she sees this specialist, that specialist, and my tax dollars are paying for it. So, I'm her primary physician now. Because I have her best interest at heart.
Luther is a good boy.
Okay, Ma, remember? Let's face it. Because of the medical system we have in place today, people are getting way too old. You know, there's a lot of people alive today that should have been dead a long time ago. And that leads to a lot of confusion. Now, St. Peter's up there in heaven saying, where's Mr. Pitt? Where's Mrs. Jolie? Now, I'm just using, you know, making these names up. And what's going to happen is all these people are going to die at once, like in a tsunami or something. And there's going to be a massive logjam up there. And then while they're trying to sort things out, who's going to be taking care of us down here? I'll give you a hint. Mr. Satan, all right? You see, all these issues are interconnected. You can't live in a bubble.
Luther.
What, Ma? What?
Water.
Water.
Please.
Yeah, so all the medications, all the pills, in the garbage. Now I just give her old-fashioned water, you know? That's the best thing anyway, you know? That's the life source. I do have to boil it first, though, to get all the fluorination and all the crap out, you know?
So would you say there's a religious dimension to your war on medicine?
Oh, yeah. You know, there's no mention of doctors in the Bible. Just miracles. And that's the problem. You know, we've gotten away from our faith. God will provide if you wait long enough. I mean, everybody today is in a big rush. I want to be healthy now, you know, but it doesn't work that way, cuz you don't tell God his business.
Some would say that medicine is a gift from God.
Yeah, well, that's what they said about cable TV, too. But you get 500 stations and it's still the same old crap. Those pricks are next.
But if you get rid of all medical treatment, aren't you concerned that a lot of innocent people will undergo needless suffering?
You know, my dad had an old saying. Whenever things went wrong or you screwed up, you know, he'd say, "That's what you get." Like one time, I was about 4 years old, and I was reaching for a chocolate chip cookie on the stove, and the pan was still hot, and I burned the whole side of my hand, all the way up to here, you know. And my father, he just laughed and said, "See, that's what you get." Another time, I was riding my skateboard, and I rode it right down the stairs, you know, and I broke my ankle and my collarbone, and my father said, "That's what you get." Very moral guy, actually.
So you would say to someone who's got cancer or some debilitating disease,
"That's what you get. I mean, you should have taken better care of yourself." Now, I'm no fan of the French, but they got it right when they, with the saying, "C'est la vie." I mean, that pretty much says it all. Now be careful, it's hot. I told you it was hot! Statistics have shown that 90% of the illnesses in this country are your own damn fault. Now, people, they eat their own foods, they don't exercise, they indulge in sexual activities where they're spreading bacteria in all kinds of places. There's no self-discipline. And that's when the socialists move in. They find your weak point, you know? Like say you're gay or liberal or something. And see, they exploit that. Because socialism is all about government control. In my opinion, the government should not be controlling anything. That's the job of the private sector. I say we go back to the early days of the Bush administration. You know, when the government was totally out of control. You know, go fight wars, protect us from the foreign devils. And that's what we do best. Alright, come on, you're fine. You're fine.
So you would call yourself a conservative?
Oh, no. I'm an independent. I used to be a Republican, but after that whole waterboarding thing, it's just... I mean, come on. We're the most advanced civilization on Earth. I mean, we've got access to all kinds of sophisticated methods to torture, like lasers and electronic prods. And this is the best they can come up with? I mean, how are you guys going to get people to talk if you're pouring water down their throats? I mean, come on, common sense.
Is she okay?
Oh, yeah. She probably just swallowed a dust ball or something. Ma! I told you gotta sleep with your mouth closed. Yeah, she's been off her medication about 2 weeks now, and she's still got all the faculties. Hey, Ma, lift your left leg. No, your left leg. Hey, you see? Ma, you're gonna be around a long time. So my message to America is, stand on your own 2 feet. Now, we can lick this problem together, as long as we do it on our own. Now, if everyone in America just gave up their insurance, you'd see the country turn around in a heartbeat. And just ask my mom.
And have you renounced your own healthcare coverage as well?
Hell no, I'm in the union. I ain't giving up my benefits. Wake up, America! Stop healthcare before it stops you!